Chapter 9. Part 1. Cola Splash. The glass doors of the airport slid open with a quiet hiss as Michael Lewis Cole stepped out, the cool evening air brushing against his face. He tightened his grip on the strap of his worn black duffel bag, jet lag still lingering heavily in his bones. Michael Lewis Cole, a calm voice called. Michael turned slightly. A man in a gray suit stood by the railing, holding a small placard with his name printed neatly. His hair was slicked back, posture rigid and professional. "I'm Paul," he said with a slight bow of his head. "I was sent to escort you." Michael gave a small nod. "Thank you." Paul led the way through the quiet terminal, took Michael's luggage without complaint, and guided him to a sleek black car parked outside. Rain had recently fallen, the pavement shimmered under the fluorescent lights. "You don't have to follow me around after this," Michael said softly once they were on the road. His voice was low, polite. "I can manage." "It was Mr. Cole's instruction to make sure you settle in properly," Paul replied, eyes fixed on the road. "At least for the first few days." Michael leaned his head gently against the cold car window, eyelids heavy. Still jet-lagged. It was nearing 10 p.m. when they arrived at the apartment complex, modest, quiet, tucked between small cafes and residential buildings. Paul unlocked the door to a small, clean unit prepared just for him. White walls. A gray sofa. A small kitchen. A single study desk near the window. On the desk lay a dark blue folder with a silver emblem. Mira High Academy. Textbooks were stacked neatly beside it, freshly bound, untouched. "Your uniform's in the closet," Paul said. "Classes start tomorrow. You're entering a month late. It'll be harder to catch up." "I know," Michael replied quietly, setting his bag down. Paul's eyes glanced briefly at the folder. "You're fortunate. I heard the school was built and designed by the heiress of the Alwara Group herself." Michael looked up. "Heiress?" "Yes," Paul said. "This school is her world, her foundation, before she takes her rightful seat in society. She wanted a place that doesn't just teach, but shapes people who might stand beside her someday." Silence. Paul gave a small, unreadable smile. "Students there aren't just smart. They're chosen." Michael walked to the desk and opened the dark blue folder. Inside were floor plans of the campus, faculty lists, and curriculum details. Mira High Academy, a future-forging institution. Students selected a forte: medical science, engineering, business strategy, classical music, literature, robotics, psychology, fine arts. Classes weren't strictly academic. They were practical. Applied. Real. His eyes narrowed slightly as he turned the page. "Ah, interesting," he muttered. "Break time, twice a day. 1 hour each. Students may skip standard classes if they choose to pursue research, personal projects, or skill-focused sessions." "Look at this," he mumbled to himself. "Break time is twice a day for an hour. You can even skip classes if you decide today you want to learn other stuff." He leaned back in his chair. "Well, I think the heiress who arranged all this has a very different way of thinking." His eyes fell back to the emblem on the folder. "It won't feel like school at all." But when his reflection appeared faintly in the window, pale skin, tired eyes, dark circles, he turned away, exhaled quietly, and whispered, "I still have to catch up." He opened a textbook, even though the lines started blurring from exhaustion. The alarm rang at 5:30 a.m. He hadn't slept much. He put on the new uniform, black slacks, crisp white shirt, blazer with the Mira High crest. His tie hung loosely, he wasn't used to fastening it properly. He grabbed a cold can from the fridge, bubblegum cola, a strange local drink he had bought out of curiosity. Too sweet. He slung his bag over his shoulder, stepped out into the cool morning air, and whispered, "Even if I'm late, I can't afford to fall behind." The sun hadn't fully risen yet. It was the morning he would first step into Mira High. The morning he would meet her. The gates of Mira High were louder than Michael expected. The morning sun had barely climbed when a massive crowd gathered near the main entrance. It wasn't just noisy, it was an uproar. Girls were screaming. Phones were out, camera shutters going off. And at the center of it, Nathan Richards. He stood near the entrance, effortlessly striking attention without even trying. His features were strikingly sharp yet soft around the edges, smooth pale skin, a sculpted jawline, and lips naturally tinted a soft rose. His light brown hair fell slightly over his forehead, tousled in that careless way models wore on magazine covers. But it was his eyes, hazel, flecked with green and gold, that seemed almost unreal under the sunlight, calm yet intense, like they held entire stories no one else could read. It's him! Nathan Richards. The model. Oh my God, he's even more handsome in person. Move. I can't see. He just got back from a photo shoot in Milan. Michael paused mid-step. What is happening? He tightened his grip on his bag and stood on the tips of his toes to glance over the sea of heads. He couldn't see this Nathan clearly, but the crowd's energy was like a concert, cheers, giggles, squeals. Even some guys were craning their necks to see. Curiosity tugged at him. He stepped closer, just to the back of the crowd, quiet, observing. So this is normal here? He thought. Then, someone from behind pushed forward. The entire crowd surged like a wave. And Michael, half sleeping, jet-lagged, holding his can of cola, lost his footing. His foot caught the edge of someone's shoe. He stumbled. The world tilted. The unopened textbooks in his bag shifted. His fingers slipped. The bubblegum cola flew from his hand. The can burst open midair. Sweet, icy pink liquid arced perfectly. And splashed all over someone standing just outside the crowd. Splat. The remaining half-filled can bounced off and hit her head. There was a small silence. Michael blinked, frozen. The girl, with long hair tied loosely, white uniform shirt slightly damp and now dripping sticky cola, slowly turned. She wiped a drop of pink soda sliding down her cheek. Then she blinked. Whoa. Her voice was calm. Not angry. Just surprised. That was cold. Everyone around them paused. Michael's heart stopped. I'm sorry. But before he could finish, she licked her lips slightly. Her eyebrows raised a little. Bubblegum cola? For a split second, she actually smiled. I knew people would buy it. Michael stared at her. She wasn't mad. She wasn't yelling. She was talking about the flavor.